South Carolina remains one of just 2 states in the country that does not have a hate crime law. That is a law that allows for an enhanced penalty for an offense if it was motivated by hate, based on characteristics like race, sexual orientation, or religion. Lawmakers have passed one in the House several times, but it's failed to make it through the Senate. Now a bill that's been pre-filed in the House is set to bring that bill before the General Assembly again. Our Josie Frost tells us what this means.
While South Carolina doesn't have a hate crimes law, there is a federal hate crime statute, the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act. But experts say since it's a federal law, it's limited to only crimes that federal prosecutors take up, meaning smaller crimes often aren't going to be prosecuted under that federal law. The proposed state law would help prosecute hate crimes in South Carolina by enhancing the penalties if prosecutors could prove that crime was motivated by hate. It's been more than 9 years since a shooting at Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston left 9 dead, including State Senator Clemente Pinckney, for whom the bill is named. Representative Wendell Gilliard has been trying to get the law passed for years, but it stalled in the Senate after passing through the House the past few sessions.
But we should have already have gotten it done by virtue of that alone, okay? And to have one of our own members, our own soldiers, State Senator Clemente Pinckney, to be among the victims, it says a lot about how far we've come and what we have to do.
The Senator Clemente C. Pinckney Hate Crimes Act would establish a maximum penalty of a $10,000 fine and up to 5 years in prison for proven hate crimes. He says it would also mandate the recording of hate crimes in South Carolina. Mark Yancey is a professor at the USC School of Law. He says even though there's a federal statute on hate crimes, a state law could expand those prosecutions.
The federal government may feel like it's not necessary to expend some of their resources. The crime may not be serious enough to expend their resources on certain types of state crimes. So having a fallback state crime option is really beneficial for these types of cases.
Prosecutors would have to prove that hate is a motive for these crimes to get the additional penalty.
So typically prosecutors are not required to prove motive. But if they wanted this sentencing enhancement, it would add an element, and they would have to prove to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that the reason the victim was targeted was because of their race or their color or their religion or their national origin, gender, sexual orientation, or disability.
Gilliard says nearly a decade after the Mother Emanuel AME Church shooting, he hopes this will be the year they can finally solidify the law.
We'll need the civic organizations on our side to help push it forward. We're going to need the faith-based community of all religions, once again, to help us build a coalition to get the message across come second week in January.
Yancey also emphasized that this bill is different from the federal statute. Gilliard's bill does not create a new crime. The federal statute does that already. This is a sentencing enhancement. He also says the federal statute does not include gender identity. Josie Frost, News 19, WLTX.